Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Well, here we are, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, and here we are once again gathered around the breakfast table, around the water cooler, in your offices, or wherever you hang out. It's the coffee hour. That's what we're doing here, and we're here every Friday at this time. And of course, we're all over the world. We don't miss a beat. Anywhere you go, you can find us on your internet. And of course, we're going to be here for a whole full hour. And in that full hour, we're going to get you involved in the show as we usually do. And those of you who have been around with us a long time, you already know what it's all about, right? Okay, but for the people who are here for the very first time, what we do as the host of the show, I get things rolling as I'm doing now. And while I'm getting things rolling, we want you to get involved and speak to us as we speak to you. And you can do that by way of your computer, your tablet, or your cell phone, right? You have a keyboard on all three. All you have to do is use them, let your fingers do the walking, say whatever you have to say, type it right in there. I will see you right there on a big screen, and I will, of course, acknowledge you, right? Because we want to say hello to you. And of course, this program contains of expression. We express ourselves here any way we want. And if there's anything in particular that you would like to talk about, of course, feel free. You know, I usually open up with conversations to get things rolling, because if I don't do that, then won't have a show. So to get things rolling, I'll do it that way. But anytime at all, even right now, you could type it right in and we'll acknowledge it. And of course, we'll get to talk about it with other people who come in as well. And by the way, you can talk to other people who come in wherever you're watching on the platform. You can talk to anybody that comes in. You can see them. You can talk to me, and we'll talk to each other, right? Your family, just as well as someone who's been around here for a long time. Okay, and so as we go along the show, keep that in mind and do it at any time you like. We'd love to talk to you, right? It's very important. Free exchange in ideas and of opinions is what the show is all about. Now, for those of you who are new, if you haven't heard, we come on 3 different places. We're on 3 different platforms. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, and of course, Facebook, right? And if you're watching us on Facebook, we want you to take the time right now to tell your friends about it. You know how you can do that? You can tag this show to your friends. They may not know about it. That's why I'm leaving it up to you to get them to know about it. Tag the show to them. If they're online, they'll see that pop up, that tag right there. All they have to do is just click onto that tag, and it brings them directly to us. And when they see you, they'll feel comfortable. They'll see me, and they'll see the rest of us here, and they'll be part of the show. And if they keep coming back again and again, I think they'll like it. You know, hopefully the more the merrier. That's what I always say. All right. So do that right away. I really would appreciate that. And for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, well, you know, I always encourage you each week, and I encourage you right now to click onto my YouTube channel. You're right there right now. Click onto it where it says subscribe. You drag your mouse over there, click onto it. And of course, that will make you a full-fledged member. Now, the reason why we will want you to do that, number one, is for us to understand how many people are out there, how many people are following us, what kind of followings we have, you know, situations like that. And the second reason is that it benefits you, because now that you clicked on and you're a member, you get a chance to know that every time we come online live or any form of activity and you're online, you'll see that instant notification that will pop up, and you can get a little curious and click onto that instant notification. It brings you right to the YouTube channel. So let's say, for instance, if you next week, you know, you're online and you forgot about the show is coming on in your area, right? You're saying, okay, I'm doing this, but all of a sudden a pop-up comes up, a notification, and you say, good gosh, they're on the air. And you click onto it and it brings you right there. So you don't have to miss anything. All right. So please get a chance, do that, and click on and be a full-fledged member just like everyone else. And it doesn't cost anything, by the way. We have no financial asking from you. All we do is just ask you just to keep passing the word along to other people. And for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you don't have to worry about a thing. As I said to the rest of them, all you have to do is just keep percolating the word. Let it spread. Let us know that you're out there, and let others know that we're out here so they can get involved too. Now, the people who on Facebook, they tag the show to their friends. You could do something similar if you're watching us on YouTube and Instagram. It's similar, right? Whatever platform you're watching us on, cut and paste the link, right? And then you send it out to your friends. It's just as simple as that. That's a form of tagging too. And when they see that, they're online, they'll pick it up, they'll click onto it, and it brings them right to the platform where you are, and they can still talk to us as well. So we've got all of those things coming along. And while we're at it, we would like to let you know that in conjunction with interacting with you, we also have our normal thing that we do around here. Now, later on in the show, just minutes from now, in this particular half hour, we're going to have the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Brian Camp is in charge of that. However, he's not here today, so he's on an assignment. So we're going to cover that for him. And we'll hopefully he'll be back next week, but we will cover it for him. So you got sports coming up. That doesn't change at all. You want to realize what's happening in sports. That's good. We'll talk about anything that you want to talk about in sports as well. You can talk sports. We can talk any issue. So that's coming up too. And later on in the program, since the weekend is coming up, and for some people, depending on how you arrange it, it may be a long weekend. It may be a long weekend. I will tell you why I say that. But the weekend is coming up, and you may want to do something outside of your norm, like let's catch up on some old movies. Well, we're going to talk about that just as well. All of that's just coming up before the show is over. Remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on the show, The Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast publication. So now that we have that out of the way, let's do what we normally do. Let's lift our cups, our glasses, whatever kind of beverage that tickles your fancy, and let's raise them, because what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So let me have a little moment so I can shoot up. That's delicious. That's great. I'm going to get a little more a little later on. Keep that to the side right now. Now, you don't have to have coffee. It could be orange juice. It could be milk. It could be water, whatever the beverage is that you so desirably consume, you can consume it with us. And again, hopefully you can stay with us the whole half hour. Now, a lot of you may be at work. First of all, some of us are in different time zones. We're Eastern. We're coming out of New York City, so we're on the Eastern time zone. So it's a bit after 10 o'clock here. Now, it may be different from where you are. Look at that clock, because that's what time we come on in your area each week. All right, so keep that in mind. We say 10 o'clock here, so anytime we give you time, we always say Eastern, so you can act accordingly. And some of you may be at work right now, all right, hanging around the water cooler, talking about what happened last night in sports, things like that. Well, take a little time off from that. Go to your desk and sit down and watch the show on your computer. If you are on your coffee hour, particularly, you may be getting that 15 or 20-minute break. All right. Sit at your desk and enjoy your coffee and enjoy the show at the same time. And while you're relaxing with your feet up on your desk, because it's your desk, after the 15 or 20 minutes is over, when you get back to work, you can still watch the show and work at the same time. Do what they call multitasking. So we got a long day ahead of us. A lot of you, you're working. And so we hope it's a good work day for you. And hopefully the weekend is coming up and you'll have a great weekend as well. If any of you so desire to indulge in conversation or address me at any time, of course, I am going to address you as well. I may even see you out there and you may not say anything. So I won't say anything unless you say anything, out of respect, because a lot of us watch the show and not say anything for the purpose of privacy. And we respect that. The only time we say anything to you, if you say something first, like hello, or whatever, and then we acknowledge you and just say hello to you. And for the rest of you guys who are watching us, we hope that you do get a chance to talk to us, or let us know that you're out there, because I would love to address you personally, say hello to you personally. And so, if you desire to do that, you can do that. If not, you want to sit back and relax the show without any conversation, just make sense out of it. Well, we welcome that as well. Okay. So you can sit back, relax, and do that. And again, we got so many things coming up during the show. And of course, it's a brand new month, right? We're still in the month of October. We're well into the month of October. And I say not too well into the month. It's only the 10th day or the 11th day of October. And so we're only 11 days into it. But we got a lot of things celebrating in October. So it's October 11th. If you're celebrating a birthday or you've got some plans coming up for today, well, it's a good day to do it. By the way, when you indulge in conversation with us, give us your weather forecast. I'm going to give you mine later on. For those of you who live in New York or in the vicinity of New York City, don't worry about it. I will take care of that. In the meantime, we're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, which started in the middle of the month of last month. It started September 15th and go clear on to the 15th. So this is the last time we'll be talking about it today. It's a celebration where we celebrate our heritage, and we would like to celebrate with you. So if you'd like to talk about any kind of history of Spanish American history, anything like that, or you know anything that's taking place, like, I don't know, events or outdoor activities that's taking place, we're still salvaging what we have left of the nice warm weather. It's not too warm, but it's still bearable to go out there. Let us know. And of course, we would love to talk about that. That would make a good conversation. So we continue for the rest to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. Also, we're celebrating Filipino American History Month. All right. And all month long, we'll be talking about this. This started at the beginning of the month. And of course, I'll say what I just said before. If you have any kind of history that you want to talk about, all of my brothers and sisters from the Philippines, and of course, if you're watching from the Philippines, that's good, because we're right there. Or if you lived in the Philippines and you were born there, but you're an American citizen, we still like to talk about it. Right. So let us know. Maybe there's some activities that you'd like to talk about, and we can lay down on it to people who may want to show up for this weekend's activities. We've got all of that coming up, right? Also, we have Polish American Heritage Month. Okay, all of my brothers and sisters from Poland. All right, we celebrate you as well. A lot of things to be celebrating, and we give everyone equal time. Whatever we celebrate, we love to celebrate everything. I'm a party dude. All right, so I love to celebrate these things and have people invite me over and say, hey, we got, it's October. And speaking of October, even though I don't have it here, it's Oktoberfest. We should have talked about that, guys. It's Oktoberfest, right? All of the month, Oktoberfest. So, well, that means like that's party time, it's beer drinking time and having a good time. And I believe Oktoberfest was that in Germany. Is that in Germany? I think that's in Germany, right? That's where they started Oktoberfest, I believe. All right. If I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected. But it's Oktoberfest. So we're celebrating a lot of things. Hispanic Heritage Month, Filipino American History Month, and of course, Polish American Heritage Month. All right, let's talk about the history of all of that. And of course, we would love to talk to you more about that. So keep us informed. A lot of things to celebrate today. One of the things I want you to be aware of, and this is for the women, but also men, you can get involved in too, because we have ladies in our lives, we have daughters, we have wives, we have nieces and cousins, female cousins. And we just want to acknowledge this to make sure that you're aware of it, because if you're not aware of it, we're going to make you aware of it, because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Okay. And those of you who are not, well, I don't have that pen with me. I just couldn't find one, but I'm still there in spirit. It's the pink ribbon. I could have made one though. It's a pink ribbon, you wear on your lapel or your shirt or something like that. That's what that's all about. And that's to commemorate this particular month. And you don't have a particular month to actually talk about it. We talk about this all the time. It's just that this is a month that's set aside to acknowledge it, a Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And of course, we urge all of you women to go out there and be proactive about your health and get checked up. And whenever you can, see your doctor and stay on a great diet if you can. Sometimes we slip and fall. I do all the time. I'm not going to lie to you. I talk about eating right, things like that. I go to the gym, I work out, but I slip just like anyone else. You're human, and we all slip. We all fall short because we all like to eat things that sometimes that we normally don't eat a lot like we used to when we were kids. I love chocolate. I love those Twizzlers. I love them all, but you can do that and strive. You can, take your time. You don't have to do everything that's, lightly, in moderation. That's what we always say. So again, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we want to make that an awareness for everyone else. So here's something else too, that we have National RSV Awareness Month. RSV is respiratory syncytial virus. All right, now what that is, it's a very common dangerous virus that affects the respiratory tract of most children before they turn 2. All right, just keep aware of that. But at the same time, it affects adults as well. That's why we go to our doctors every 6 months. He wants you to come back for a checkup, get that physical checkup. That's what's important. We want to stay as healthy and live as long as we can, while we're here. So that's something that we have there. All right, there. And of course, we will talk more about this as the month goes on, because this is what we're talking about all month. That's National RSV Awareness Month. So we don't just pull these things out of a hat. We don't do that. We see them and we acknowledge them. They're brought to our attention. We do it. Sometimes a lot of things we may pass by, just like Oktoberfest. All right. I just thought about that off the top of my head. So now I'm going to make sure that my producers label that for the rest of the month. Oktoberfest, Oktoberfest. What happens Oktoberfest? Well, we're gonna get into Oktoberfest later on in the day at happy hour. Yeah, I know that's what you guys are thinking. Okay, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. It's National Sausage Pizza Day. You like sausage pizza? Now I'm starting to feel like a teenage Ninja Turtle. It's National Sausage Pizza Day, man. I want some pizza. Pizza, man. Put mine with a little pepperoni on it. You see the turtle sitting up there eating pizza, right? Anyway, I'll have mine a little later. Pizza. National Sausage Pizza. Okay, we'll have that. I'll have that a little later. I don't usually eat pizza with toppings, but sometimes it's good. But that's what we're celebrating today. You really can't make it up. So have yours today. And we talked about earlier a possible long weekend. Well, that depends on you. It's not a national holiday, but it depends on you. All right. Because this Monday, we're celebrating Columbus Day. And of course, in New York City, we have the traditional annual Columbus Day parade that happens on Fifth Avenue, just like any other parade that happens on Fifth Avenue. And for this Monday, people may be saying, oh, I'm going to work. But then there are other people saying, I'm going to take off for the Christopher Columbus Day parade. A lot of people like to do that. All right. But just keep in mind, it's at your own risk. If you're not supposed to be taking off that day, then you really shouldn't, but if you have that day, the luxury to free yourself from the job and you want to go to the parade, well, that's on you. All right. But the parade will start. It will happen this Monday. Columbus Day. Okay, so put on your colors and go out there and support that parade. Now, while I'm at it, I have to tell you only because of the fact that I have a Native American background, right? And along with Columbus Day, it's also Native American Day on that day. So I'm going to be celebrating that. That's, I have the background. And just like Columbus Day, you have the Italian background, I have the Native American background, and I'll celebrate them all. I celebrate everything. I don't care. I celebrate a hangnail. I don't care. And so that's what I'll be doing. I just wanted to bring that out there because it's never acknowledged. So along we celebrate two things in one day, Christopher Columbus Day, that's Columbus Day, and Native American Day. Remember, these are the people who were settled here before we came here. So all of us are foreigners if you want to really get technical about it. Okay, we're all aliens if you want to get technical about it. Say no more. All right, Native American Day, Monday, along with Columbus Day. All right, I got to tell you also, the flu vaccinations are available. Not only the flu vaccinations, but you also have the COVID-19 vaccinations. These are the updated versions of COVID-19, right? They're all available right now. And you know something? These COVID tests are not going to go away. And they're just as annual as the flu shots, okay? We know that we don't suffer with the pandemic right now. And that's good. I'm glad of that. But we still have to take care of ourselves in that department because even though it's not a pandemic, but people are still contracting COVID-19. Still, would you believe it or not, still doing that. And people are still wearing their mask as well. All right. I see it all the time. In my travels day to day, people are still doing that. And that's okay, too. You can continue to do that to be on the safe side if you so desire. But the flu and the COVID shots are available. Now, I have taken mine already, so I'm all set to fight off whatever I have to fight off. I like to do that, fight it off. I don't like to get sick. I hate getting sick. And so anything I can do to avoid sickness, I do it. If I feel a cold coming on, I try to nurse it right away. Okay, getting back to the flu shots, right? It's available at your pharmacist. All you have to do is go there. You can show up. Now, depending on where you live, you may be able to go there and take the shot right there on the spot. I don't know. I know here in New York, I don't think it would be logical that that's done. Maybe at one time was, but I don't think it's logical now because so many people are after it. And of course, to avoid a lot of chaos and confusion, people will have to go online, and your pharmacists have a website, whatever that is, and you go online and you can make your appointment, either there or in person. I don't know. You can go online and make the appointment. All right. Now, when you make the appointment for your shots, you can take the shots. Like I said, I took one at one time and then one at the other time, but you can actually take both shots at one time in one day. You can. All you have to do is specify that when you make the appointment that's what you want to do. But that's a personal choice for you to make. If you want to do that, you can do that. But and they say it's recommendable that you can take both shots in one day. If you want to get it out of the way, that's quick. If you're not in a hurry, then you can take one at one time, and then 2 weeks or so, take it another time. Because that's exactly what I did. I feel more comfortable that way. But, this is why we have a choice, these choices. But nevertheless, what you ought to do is make sure that you make the appointment. And when you make the appointment, keep the appointment, get it out of the way. The cold weather is coming in and it'll be here just before you know it. Don't wait until the last minute to do it. Do it now. Go out there and do it at your own free time. It doesn't take that long. All right. You can make your appointment, go online, make your appointment. It doesn't take that long when you go there, and it's simple and it's painless. It doesn't even hurt. You don't even feel it. In case anyone is worried about that, I don't even feel it. But some people may say, "Oh, yeah, that's easy for you to say because you're a man." That has nothing to do with it. It's just that I'm the kind of person that indulge in. I could endure pain, but again, I promise you, it won't hurt a bit. It's just a little prick. That's all it is. and you'll be out of there in no time. So go to your pharmacist, make the appointment, and keep the appointment for the flu and COVID-19 vaccination. 25 days left. 25 days left for that big day, that glorious day, that marvelous day, and that election day. It's coming around the corner. And those of you who desire to vote, and I hope that you do, you have ways of doing it. You can do it by mail. Better do it in a hurry. If you want to ballot by mail, do it. If you want to vote early, we have early votings. I understand that there's early votings that's already in effect in 39 states. So go out there and do your voting right now. In New York, we start voting on the 26th, our early voting on the 26th. So I know a lot of people are going to be out there to do that. And again, so you have those options, and plus Election Day, which is on the 5th of November. And we will see what happens after that. And the following day, we'll have a brand new president. And we'll see what goes down with that, okay? So get out there and vote. And later on in the program, I'm going to give you New Yorkers an address. All you have to do for the rest of you, go online and find out, where your voting poll is. But first of all, you have to go to your local board of elections to get all of that information. And they can tell you exactly where your voting poll is, early voting, when it starts for you, when it ends, and all kinds of information that you may need about voting. We'll tell you more about that. And for all of you New Yorkers, I have the Board of Elections address and telephone number, which I will give to you later on in the program. Okay. I've got weather forecast, but you know something? I'm a little late with the sports right now, so I'm going to give you the weather forecast in just a few. I usually do it before the sports, but I'm going to give you just a few because we're a little late behind time. Comes from Brian Camp, who's not with us today. Brian Camp is on assignment, and so he's always nice enough to leave sports information, sports news that we can gather. And so we're going to get to it right now, and starting with the MLB, that's the Major League Baseball, and that's all full and still in effect. We're waiting for those big days when the Subway Series come around. I have hopes for that. Anyway, sports. Luis Tiant, the charismatic Cuban with the horseshoe mustache, and his 90-degree wind-up pitch for the Boston Red Sox passed away. He was 83 years old. In the NBA, and National Basketball Association, the Miami Heat will honor longtime team president Pat Riley by permanently naming their player floor in his honor. The court of Casey Center will be revealed or unveiled with Riley's name on October 23rd when the Heat opens the season with Orlando Magic. And Riley, who also was a coach now in his 30th year with the franchise, has led the Heat to 3 championships and 7 NBA appearances. The Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame announced that it will honor film director Spike Lee and actor Jack Nicholson and Billy Crystal and real estate developer Allan Horowitz as its class of 2024. The group will recognize doing a superfan gallery ceremony on October 13th, a few hours before the hall ushers in its new class of legendary former players and coaches. Spike Lee has been a season ticket holder since 1985. Jack Nicholson has been a ticket season holder for the LA Lakers since the 1970s and during the Showtime era. Patrick Ewing, New York Knicks all-time leading scorer, has rejoined the franchise as the ambassador of Ton Assist, both basketball and business operations. And on this day, October 11th, 1911, Ty Cobb, LA, and Frank Schultz, he from the National League, named inaugural MVP prize. The prize was a car. All right, kind of got stuck on that. It didn't make a lot of sense, but there it is. All right. Okay, in 1925, New York Giants played their first NFL game and lost to Providence. In 1980, Dallas Mavericks opened their debut NBA season with victory over the Spurs. In 1992, Deion Sanders plays ATL Falcons in Miami and flies to Pittsburgh to play the ALT Braves in the same day. In 1997, Dennis Rodman returns from the second longest NBA suspension, which was 11 games. And birthdays on this day. In 1961, Steve Young, the NFL, he was an NFL quarterback, three-time champion of the Super Bowl and most valuable player. He was born in Salt Lake City, Utah. In 1965, Chris Spellman, NFL linebacker of the Detroit Lions, was born in Canton, Ohio. In 1987, Mike Connolly Jr., from the NBA. He was born in Fayetteville, Arkansas. In 1994, TJ Watt, NFL from Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Steelers, was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. In other sports, Robert Sayer insists no one was panicked about the New York Jets' slow start. And a day later, he was out of a job. And owner Woody Johnson made the stunning decision Tuesday to fire Sayer 5 games into his 4th season after the team's 2-3 start, following the 23-17 loss to Minnesota in London on Sunday. Sayer was 36 as coach of the New York Jets, who are trying to snap the NFL longest active playoff drought in 13 seasons. The move marks the first time in Johnson's 25-year tenure that the head coach has been fired during the season. Defensive coordinator Jeff Ulrich will serve as interim coach for the rest of the season, with the Jets maintaining expectations to make the playoffs. Retired track and field star and advocate Allison Felix has also has a passion for entrepreneurship. On Tuesday, the most decorated American track and field athlete in history is launching a women-focused sports management firm called Always Alpha. Felix, her brother Wes, and Cosette Chaput are the founders of the Always Alpha. The sports management firm is supported by the managing or marketing division of Dolphin and entertainment marketing company. Always Alpha will specifically target women athletes across all of sports and not just track and field. Apparently, not satisfied with becoming one of the dominant forces of the WNBA, 2024 Rookie of the Year, Caitlin Clark, is set to compete in the Pro-Am golf event on November. The Indiana Fever superstar will appear at the Antica, and that's the Pennymate tournament of the LBGA, and that's the tour that's hosted. And the golf, and it's going to be their legend. This is created by Anika Sorenstam from November 11th to the 17th, and as well as playing in the Pro-Am event on November 13th. Clark will also feature as a panelist at the Women's Leadership Summit at the day before the event happens in Florida. Matt Bush, a former #1 pick in the Major League Baseball draft, who played 6 seasons in the major leagues, was arrested in Texas last Friday and charged with driving while intoxicated. He was evading arrest and accident involving injury on Friday in Arlington, Texas. Bush allegedly fled police officers who tried to stop him and pull him over for erratic driving, and soon afterwards, the 38-year-old was involved in a 4-car crash, police said. Authorities allege Bush ran a light and prior to the accident, and hit a truck that collided with two other vehicles and stopped the traffic at a traffic light. And there were no reported life-threatening injuries to anyone involved in the crash. Bush left the scene on foot and was chased down and detained by witnesses. Bush was taken to Arlington City Jail on 3 charges. And finally, tennis great Billie Jean King will preside over 136 Rose Bowl parade. She's the Grand Marshal of the Year. And King, who is turning 81 next month, was introduced to everybody on the show on Monday, and a lot of confetti was tossed around on the lawn of the tournament house as Philadelphia Freedom rang out, and that was the hit song that was written by Elton John. King will ride the 5.5-mile route through the streets of Pasadena on January 1st and be part of the coin flip for the 111th Rose Bowl football game later that day. And that's in sports. We thank Brian for giving us what's happening in the world of sports. And hopefully he'll be back next week and do his own sports, right? That's always a nice thing. Okay, just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan, and I'm going to be with you for the balance of the show up until the hour ends. And we thank you so much for being along. Okay, Mary Reed is out there. We want to say hello to her. Mary is out there with us, and she's out of Brooklyn, New York. She bids us a good morning as we bid her a good morning as well. And she said she tuned in from the doctor's office and didn't get a chance to say good night. She tuned in from the doctor's office. Were you at the doctor's office before you said good night? Last night you were at the doctor's office? Is that where you were, Mary? All right. She didn't get a chance to say good night, but I understand. Things like that happen. And she fell asleep. Am I that boring? Anyway, thank you so much, Mary, for being with us just the same. And of course, we thank you, you guys, for being along with us. And you guys who are wherever you're watching us, you may be watching us on Facebook, just as Mary is doing, or maybe you're watching us on Instagram, or probably you're watching us on YouTube. Yesterday night. Mary, we don't say yesterday night. I think it's just say last night. I understand some people say yesterday night, but it's actually really last night, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay. Again, those of you who are watching us, you may be watching us from a different platform. You may be watching us from Instagram as well. We thank you so much for being with us just the same. And of course, if you're just joining us, we're going to be here for the balance of the hour. And of course, we thank you so much for being along with us. So many things are happening. First of all, I want to thank, and I did this last night on Talk Back Live on the show. I did this last night, and I want to do it again. I just want to send a shout out to radio personality DJ Matt Craig. Matt Craig, him and I have a friend, a mutual friend who passed away, who's no longer with us, but you probably know who he is. He's a legend in our business. His name is Dick Summer. Dick Summer passed away some time ago. And when Dick Summer passed away, Matt Craig got in touch with me and said he was going to do this air check tribute to Dick Summer. And he said, I would like you to get involved with it. I would like you to participate in it. And my participation was, just giving some kind of short synopsis of Dick Summer, knowing him the way I do, my experiences with him and working with him and being pals with him, that kind of thing. And it wasn't just me, it was just a few other DJs in the music in the industry. He got a few of us together and he made a documentary out of it. Not a documentary, but it was an air check. It was a total air check with Dick Summer's air checks all together. And in between some of the air checks that he played, each DJ came in and did their little spiel. and that's how he did it. And it turned out to be a 2 hour and 40-minute long tribute, which is okay. It was okay. And I had a chance to listen. He just released it yesterday. Out of all of that time, Dick died a couple of months ago, but he just released it yesterday. Because it takes a lot of time to do that. When you do things like that, projects like that, it takes a long time because you have to get the people together. And then you have to get all of the other elements that you need to inject into the show. But it took that long, and it turned out to be a 2 hour and 40-minute tribute. And I listened to it yesterday when it was released yesterday, and I had a chance to listen to the whole entire tribute. And it was well put together. And of course, if you so desire, you want to do it, I want to share it with you if you'd like to do it. And you can do that by going to the Big Apple Air Check website. Okay. And that address is www.bigappleairchecks.com. And you can listen to the whole 2 hours as well, 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's a great tribute. And Dick Summer was a good friend of mine. I enjoyed it. I worked with him. And very nice guy. And we lost him a couple of months ago. But the tribute just came out. It was just released yesterday. So it's released to the public. And if you desire, you can go to www.bigappleairchecks.com. Okay. All right. Okay. And something too, I want to take time to mention about Hurricane Milton, who swept in by storm. No pun intended. But that was a heavy hurricane and more treacherous than the one that we had prior, which was Hurricane Helene. Right? Helene started it. She set it off. And then Milton just came in and finished the job. And fortunately, it wasn't as bad as a lot of people anticipated. It was bad. Don't get me wrong. It was bad, but not as bad as a lot of people anticipated. It swept it knocked down. I saw images on the news. It knocked down houses right off of their foundations. It turned cars upside down, and people flood areas, right? And that's why they wanted the people to evacuate. And some people, they live in Florida because it always seems when hurricane season come around, it always starts in Florida and it just moves. And we sometimes over here on the East Coast where we are, well, it's all East Coast, but it's sometimes when it moves up north where we are, it tends to, give us part of the action too. A lot of winds, a lot of rain, but not as bad as the hurricane. But it did a big job, and people now are coming back and they have to rebuild. A lot of businesses have been lost, houses have been knocked down, devastating. And so for the people who survived it, we thank God that you're here. There were a lot of people who didn't survive. The toll of death went up. It was just like last night when I was talking about it was like a dozen people. But it's a little more now, and I would assume it'll be more later. But it seems that the people who they told to evacuate in that area where they were supposed to evacuate, it seemed like they took their advice and did it. Some people want to say, you know what, I've been living here 30 years and I'm going to ride it out. But you have to remember too, if you live in a home, a one-story home, then that's not going to do you any good. If anyone had stayed back and rode it out, hopefully they lived in a two-story home, but then even that's taking a chance because again, those winds were so strong, they knocked down trees and power lines. You had power outages, which I would assume the power outages are still going on, but the storm passed. They have sunshine out there now, and unfortunately, these things happen once a year. It's hurricane season. And so they have to get back to the drawing board. They're getting help from FEMA, even though some of the old crazy politicians make light of the action that, that the government controls the weather. How stupid is that? Oh, you can thank Marjorie Taylor Greene for that statement. So ladies and gentlemen, you don't listen to these people because people have died around these people, right? So the thing, when you have hurricanes coming into your area, you always listen to your local sheriff and your local politicians, all right? Not anyone that's going to do you any harm and say, ride it out. It's going to be okay. Don't move from your house. It's going to be okay. And it's not going to be okay. And so Marjorie Taylor Greene, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. You did it again. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here you're watching the Coffee Hour. And of course, we're going to be here for the balance of the show until the hour is over right now. Okay, Allan Blay, an Emmy-winning writer for the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour and Van Dyke and Company, died last Friday morning at his home in Palm Desert, California in 1968. Tom and Dick Smothers convinced Bly to move to Los Angeles to serve as head writer and producer of their new show, the CBS Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. Bly worked alongside comedians such as Bob Epstein, Steve Martin, Rob Reiner, and Carl Gottlieb. The show won an Emmy for Best Writing in a variety comedy television series in 1969. Bly was 87 years old. Cissy Houston, renowned soul and gospel singer and mother of Whitney Houston, died. Houston, a two-time Grammy Award winner who sang backup for Aretha Franklin and Elvis Presley, passed away at her home Monday morning. Houston was surrounded by her family and was under the care of hospice care for Alzheimer's disease. She was born in Newark, New Jersey. Houston got her start in entertainment as a member of the gospel group Drink It For. She later found the sweet inspirations alongside Dee Dee Warwick and Doris Troy, singing backup with Otis Redding, Dusty Springfield, and Dionne Warwick. As part of the group, she made a contribution to Van Morrison's Brown Eyed Girl and Jimi Hendrix's Experience, Burning the Midnight Lamp. She was 91 years old. Nearly 30 years after Bad Boys hit the theaters, Will Smith and Michael Blay are eyeing a reunion. Bay is negotiating to direct the action flick called Fast and Loose for Netflix, with Smith on as a star performer there, and John Hobart and Eric Hobart and Chris Bremer and Eric Parsons. They penned the script, and producers include Smith, Kelly McCormick, and David Leitch for 84th North, and the co-president and head of the motion pictures, John Monet and Ryan Shimskapsky, are in the negotiations for producer for the Westbrook Studios, and James Lastly and Bay Smith and both Bay Smith, Will Smith, and Bay were also first teamed up. They teamed up in 1995, and when they did Bad Boys, which served the Bay's feature debut, his debut directorial. And that came about, and they came up with more of these Bad Boy sequels, such as Bad Boy 2 and Bad Boy Life and Bad Boys Ride and Die. Netflix has lined up 5 sponsors for its live boxing match next month, pitting veteran Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Now, the streamer has 8 deals with the energy drink, which is called Celsius, DraftKings, Sportsbook, and MetaQuest, and of course a beer brand too, which the beer brand is called Spaten, as representing and the sponsors for the fight, and they of course the other programs too as well. Magda Haring, who is the Netflix vice president of global marketing and partnership, made the announcement Monday in New York. A federal judge on Monday ordered Google to tear down the digital walls, shielding the Android app store from a competition as punishment for maintaining an illegal monopoly that helped expand the company's internet empire. The injunction issued. U.S. judge, his name is Judge James Donato, will require Google to make several changes in the Mountain View area of California. And the company had resisted. Now, those include the provision that will require that Play Store for Android apps to distribute rival third-party apps stores for the commuters so they can be able to download them in their phones if they so desire. The judge ordered will make the millions of Android apps in the Store Play or the Play Store Liberty accessible to rivals, and also allowing them to offer up competitive sections. Google has to make this order and this revision by November. Birthdays today, Rhea Ripley from the WWE. She's a professional wrestler. She turns 80. She turns 28 today. Cardi B is 32. Actress Jane Krakowski turns 56. The late Luke Perry, actor, would have been 58 today. Actor Sean Penn Riley, or Flannelly, would have been 59. Actress Joan Crusette would have been 62, or she is 62. She's still around with us. Actress Caitlin Adams is 74. Daryl Hall of Hall & Oates is 78. Jazz drummer, the late Billy Higgins, would have been 88. Country singer Dottie West would have been 92. Jazz drummer Art Blakey would have been 105. And choreographer Jerome Robbins would have been 106 years old. So happy birthday to all in the industry who are living, and those who are no longer with us. We acknowledge you and wish you a heavenly happy birthday. And those of you who are celebrating birthdays too, and you would like us to announce it here on the show, we really would appreciate that, and we would do it for you. All you have to do is get in contact with us, be proactive about it. We have an email address and a telephone number we want to give to you, and all you have to do is apply yourself. So we'll give you the email address first. The email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. Prod is Prod. That's short for productions. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Now, you can call us as well at the number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Anytime you want to get involved with us or call us, we really would appreciate that. There's no problem with that. All you have to do is just do that. Just supply yourself, okay? And let us know that you have a birthday, or maybe you just want to talk about this show. Maybe you have ideas that you can implement, that we should implement in the show. We will listen to that too. Or if you want to critique the show, which we recommend that you do because we want to know where you stand, you can do all of that. All right. So please do that. Give us a call, shoot us an email, and let us know. I'll give you the email address once again. Email address is frankallanprod at AOL.com. That's frankallanprod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't give you the weather forecast, and a lot of people do. First of all, we want to say hello to Mary. We already said hello to her. We want to say hello to Wayne and a lot of other people who are out there. Thank you so much for being along with us. Right now, I want to give you my weather forecast. Those of you who live in the New York area don't have to worry about that. I'll take care of that right away, as I'm doing now. We have a good weekend weather-wise coming up. And so get out there and salvage what's left of what's being nice. We have coming up for today, abundance of sunshine. We'll have a high 71. Winds will be west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. We have clear skies for tonight. We have a low of 58 degrees. Winds will be west-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, my favorite day of the weekend, it's Saturday, and I think it's yours too. We have mainly sunny skies. We'll have a high 75 degrees, so that's not bad. You can still go out in the weather. and winds will be west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And Saturday, well, we've got Saturday night, if you're going out on the town, clear skies in the evening, then becoming cloudy overnight. We'll have a low 54. Winds will be light and variable as you wrap up your week for your Sunday. We've got partly cloudy skies, partly to mostly cloudy skies for Sunday. And you can leave the umbrella home. It'll be high 71, and winds will be east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And we're going to move along because it's Columbus Day. And I think it's going to rain on your parade just for a bit, but not too much. I think you can survive it. Showers in the morning, then partly cloudy in the afternoon, high 63 degrees, and winds will be west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. I predict that you're going to survive it. New Yorkers survive some kind of parade, even if it drizzles out there. They're going to march anyway. New Yorkers do that. All right. They do that, so they don't have to worry about that. So please, enjoy the parade, and that's coming up. So the weather's not bad at all. Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen. I mentioned earlier we've got 25 days left. 25 days left before that glorious day, that marvelous day, that election day. And election day, of course, as you already know, is on the 5th of November. That's a Tuesday. 25 days to go before you vote. And of course, you can vote early. We got early votings in 39 states right now. That's already in effect. Our early voting starts on the 26th here in New York. I know that, and other places. And of course, if you like to do that, that would be great. Now, if you want to vote by mail too, you can do that as well. But you better hurry because time is running short. Get in touch with your Board of Elections wherever you are. Just go on your computer and find it, your local Board of Elections. They'll give you all of the answers you want to know, whether it's finding your voting polls or sending you the ballot in the mail. Do it right away. I don't have the addresses for you. Only you have that. I only have it for New York, though. In New York, we have a Board of Elections address for you. They're 200 Varick Street. It's downtown Manhattan. And it's in Manhattan on the 10th floor. So if you want to go and visit them, go and do that. You can even call them right away. You can call them right after the show, 212-886-2100. That's 212-886-2100. Now, when you call them, they could let you know exactly where your voting place is in the 5 boroughs, all right? Now, your voting places, if you're doing any early voting, all right, that doesn't necessarily mean when you vote on the 5th, that it's going to be in the same place. So find where that is, when you call them. And of course, you can get in touch with them by mail if you want to vote by mail, right? They'll send you the ballot. The ballot is discreet. Fill it out, but be very careful what you do. Double check it, triple check it, all right? And make sure you're voting for the right person because you don't want to vote for the wrong person. You don't want to screw it up, all right? So let me give you that address again. It's 200 Varick Street in New York, 10th floor, telephone number 212-866-2100. That's 212-886-2100. We're coming up. I don't have any movies this week. All right. And that's a rarity. But go on Turner Classic Movies and you might see something that you like. And while you're there on demand, you could also check out the free movies that's available from A to Z. You have a lot of great documentaries there. You have a lot of great children's programs, sporting events. If you need a chance to see a sporting event in real time, you can go on the next day and you can check it out sometimes without commercial interruptions. All right. Sometimes, not all the time. And you can do that. And so we don't have any movies to lay on you this week. And you could also do a lot of streaming too. Next week, we'll have some movies for you. It's a rarity that this happens, that we don't have any movies for you, but still go to Turner Classic Movies and check it out because there may be still some movies that you may like that we didn't add on to our list today. And of course, you get a chance to do that too. That's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. My day is over and my weekend is just started. It's totally and officially underway. and yours will be later on too. We're going to come back here next Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for the coffee hour. Brian Camp will be with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. We hope that you will be here as well. And then we'll also look forward to seeing you back here next Friday morning at 10 a.m., a whole hour of the coffee hour. And of course, you get a chance to meet everybody here. Brian Camp will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update, and we look forward to seeing you as well. Until we meet again, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you have yourself a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and a wonderful Christopher Columbus Day and Native American Day. All right? Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.